Johannesburg, South Africa. A political storm of historic proportions is engulfing South Africa after the ruling African National Congress, the ANC, pushed forward a controversial policy now dubbed the Afrikaner Return Order. The decision, which mandates the reallocation of formerly Afrikaner-owned lands and the reintegration of select white Afrikaner communities into rural areas under government jurisdiction, has ignited fierce protests, parliamentary revolt, and a national identity crisis. Unveiled late last week by Minister of Land Reform and Rural Development, the policy is being framed by the ANC leadership as a corrective measure for generational displacement, one that seeks to rebalance the scales of history by acknowledging the Afrikaner community's disrupted economic and social structure post-apartheid. In a televised address, President Thabo Mahlangu defended the policy as a bold step toward unity that redefines restitution beyond race. But across the country, the announcement has sparked a wave of unrest, with opposition leaders, former liberation stalwarts, civil society groups, and even members within the ANC itself labeling the policy as political suicide, ideological betrayal, and a catastrophic misreading of public sentiment. At its core, the Afrikaner Return Order proposes the voluntary, but state-facilitated, relocation of Afrikaner families, primarily descendants of farming communities displaced during the post-1994 land redistribution. The policy sets up designated agricultural zones across the Free State, Northern Cape, and Limpopo where qualifying Afrikaner applicants will receive land, subsidies, and cultural rights protections. A special clause within the policy also grants these communities limited self-governance and linguistic autonomy, which critics claim paves the way for neo-apartheid enclaves under the guise of reconciliation. ANC Secretary-General Linda Maroka said the move was inspired by years of consultation and reconciliation summits, arguing that true nation-building must include everyone's pain, including that of white South Africans who feel alienated from the new South Africa. However, the backlash has been immediate and widespread. EFF leader Julius Malema lambasted the policy, calling it a betrayal of black suffering and an invitation for the ghosts of apartheid to reclaim the land. The Democratic Alliance also condemned the plan, albeit on different grounds, calling it an illiberal and reckless ethnic experiment that threatens to deepen racial divisions rather than heal them. Within the ANC, fractures are widening. Senior figures in the ANC Veterans League and the Youth Wing have publicly dissociated from the return order, with some calling for an emergency elective conference. Reports indicate that several provincial ANC structures are considering a vote of no confidence in the president's leadership, describing the policy as a final breaking point in the party's post-liberation identity crisis. In Soweto, Cape Town, and Durban, thousands have taken to the streets, chanting anti-government slogans and burning ANC regalia. A protester in Alexandra told SABC News, "My grandfather was evicted from land for this very group. Now they return like heroes? What kind of justice is this?" Meanwhile, in Oania, a self-declared Afrikaner-only town, community leaders welcomed the news cautiously, expressing interest in participating under certain conditions. "This may be the beginning of a peaceful coexistence," said Jacobus Botha, an Oania council member. "Or it may be a trap." The controversy has drawn international attention, with human rights organizations and foreign governments watching closely. The UN Human Rights Commission released a brief expressing concern over the potential for ethnic favoring and regressive spatial segregation, while the Netherlands issued a statement urging South Africa to ensure equal treatment under the law. With the 2026 general election looming, the ANC appears to be standing on a dangerous precipice. Analysts warn that the party's attempt to expand its base by appealing to disenfranchised white voters may alienate its traditional support, many of whom feel betrayed by what they see as a reversal of hard-won post-apartheid victories. "This is not just a policy shift," said political analyst Ayanda Makona. "It's the ANC signaling that it is no longer beholden to the past, for better or for worse. But the gamble may cost it everything." As South Africa teeters between fury and introspection, one thing is clear: the Afrikaner Return Order has peeled back the bandages on a still healing nation, revealing old wounds, new fractures, and the uncomfortable truth that reconciliation, more than 30 years later, is still a battlefield.